This episode is one of the more lighthearted of Band of Brothers. After boot camp, Easy Company traveled to the UK with Sobel leading a training exercise where the platoon encountered a fence not present on his map. One of the men of Easy, George Luz, used his impression talents to impersonate a superior officer, ordering Sobel to cut the fence. What makes this scene even more perfect is Band of Brothers' 2001 release date. The production quality still holds up to this day, from the CGI needed to emulate the events of D-Day to the excellent filmmaking on display besides that. From Winter's leadership to the bravery of his men, this action sequence is expertly done. The shaky cam used to film the action means that a sense of geography is never established, something that encapsulates the feeling of chaos that would have accompanied soldiers on the front lines. This episode is the first to focus on the horrors of warfare from an individual perspective, with Blythe's point of view emulating how World War II affected the mental state of its soldiers. The Battle of Carentan sums this up and makes for another perfect Band of Brothers scene. The newly appointed Sergeant Malarkey goes to pick up his laundry. While there, the woman responsible for the laundry asks if he can take some of the clothes belonging to other members of Easy, who have forgotten to pick them up, not knowing they've been killed in action. Malarkey tearfully agrees to take them, in one of the show's more upsetting, quieter but no less perfect scenes. This scene depicting Bull's exploits is perfectly executed, showcasing the quieter, stealth-based side of being behind enemy lines. Furthermore, the scene in which Bull reunites with the men of Easy is one of the show's most heartwarming. This scene offers an insight into the motivations of Doc and Renée, and why they do what they do. The insight is fascinating and shows two people who are sick of the sight of blood, injury, and death, yet rush into the line of fire to save lives regardless. Eventually, the town of Bastogne is destroyed by German artillery, forcing Doc to rush to the hospital in search of Renée. He instead finds the hospital destroyed, with Renée crushed beneath the rubble, simultaneously making the prior scene shared more perfect, if only for the heart-wrenching realism of the casualties of war. Amid the battle, Easy Company needed to make contact with I Company in order to defeat the German garrison. Speirs then runs the entire length of the battlefield, through the middle of the German troops to reach I Company, before remarkably running back through the enemy line to rejoin Easy. This scene exemplifies the true bravery and courage of a proper field commander in Speirs, and is undoubtedly the most chill-inducing scene in Band of Brothers, that perfectly showcases one of the many heroes of World War II. From the exceptional production value that sells the inhumane living conditions of the Nazi concentration camps, to the depiction of the prisoners who treat the American soldiers almost as deities due to their relief at being freed, the scene is beyond tragic. This is all bolstered by the theme of the episode, encapsulated by the title of Why We Fight. A perfect feel-good scene in Band of Brothers comes with the final episode, featuring the surviving members of Easy Company playing a baseball game. After the horrors of war they have endured, the scene shows the men of Easy winding down and having fun together, while Damian Lewis Winters outlines what happened to each member after World War II.